Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk Fringe. And we're getting into the last handful of episodes of the season. I feel like greater revelations are about to occur at any moment, but we've got some big ones to process from last episode. And the quickest way to summarize them is this. Olivia was tested on back when she was a kid in Jacksonville. Walter ran those tests, or at least he was involved in those tests. Now, has he always known that she was one of his test subjects, or has he just come to that realization? It's not entirely clear. But he's more involved than he's letting on. Based on what we've seen of other kids that were tested at the same time as Olivia, it's safe to say Olivia's probably got some latent paranormal abilities that it seems Jones is trying to unlock with the aid of these different puzzles. She's already apparently turned a bomb off with her mind. I'm guessing we're going to unlock more abilities as the series progresses. But I still don't know where we're going with this. There's two sides. One of those sides is either a parallel universe or a parallel universe set just slightly in the future, and this is why we have these fantastical technologies in ours, because certain people are crossing over, including maybe the Observer. I don't know. But there's a ZFT book that apparently explains some of it. It's such a complex world building that we've been witness to in this first season. And I can't yet tell the scope of that world building. We're seeing glimpses, and they're starting to connect, but there's still a lot of unconnected pieces, and you don't know how relevant some of those pieces are, or if they even really matter. But then there's other stuff which feels very important, and we just don't know how it connects to the other things we know. It's been a really interesting ride. We have, just like I said, a handful of episodes left. I'm ready to jump into this one. This is episode 18 from season 1, the 19th episode in the run, and this one's called Midnight.
And authorities are baffled by what appears to be one of the most.
Did I miss the Observer in the news report there?
The media has been blocked from.
This guy looks familiar, but not from the show.
Told is that a body was found mutilated by what might have been a hunting knife. There are a number of nightclubs around here. It's not the safest neighborhood, but there haven't been violent crimes.
That's just an everyday carry knife. That's not a hunting knife. I enjoy the musical choice, though. Bela Lugosi's dead.
Hello, beautiful.
Finally, where have you been? Did you get my message?
I'll call you when I get home tonight. Right now, I've got to go have dinner with these insufferable suits from Hong Kong.
Oh.
I can tell you're my kind of girl.
What's up with her eyes? Is she the killer? He's just cheating on his girlfriend. She's a killer. Yep. Bob's not going to be answering his phone. Yeah, those eyes are creepy. They're so blue. Oh, fun. What did she do to him?
Oh, Olivia, you have to hear how Neil and Helen met.
Two singles together was the answer for us.
TV Neils are nether cool.
Not just a matchmaking service, Rachel. A way of life.
And we're always vaguely creepy on TV, too.
I'm sorry, I've just been called into work.
Well, what kind of work do you do, Olivia?
I think his name was Bob Dunn. He was 33 years old.
Shrimp cocktail. You see, shrimp must be deveined by putting a shallow cut down the back, which, in fact, is not a vein at all.
It's an intestine.
The crustacean's intestinal tract.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks for that. Just don't seem your normal chipper self at a bloody, gruesome crime scene.
Preoccupied.
It's just home stuff.
These appear to be bite marks. Human.
You're suggesting that someone chewed his spine out?
Yes.
Great, well, maybe we're looking for Dracula.
Okay. No. She's...
Finally,
we said
son,
Kane.
you are opening your mind to new possibilities.
She's a werewolf.
There are no vampires, sadly.
If it's not vampires, it has to be werewolves.
I was wondering if you were satisfied with your divorce attorney.
This is what happens when
I
you
was satisfied.
have good investigators
Except for the
working
bill.
for you.
I was wondering if I might be able to get the name and number.
I hope things work out for your sister.
Well, he's a good
I
investigator,
pay
too.
attention to Agent Dunham.
Yeah.
The killer took the victim's spinal fluid? Why would they do that?
Where would the fun be if we already knew all there is to know? This is
Why
interesting.
would you take spinal fluid?
That's the syphilis bacteria.
Great. I should have worn gloves.
Why are you not wearing gloves during an
This
autopsy?
particular strain of syphilis is extinct. Has been for decades.
Well, how could the killer be exposed to an extinct strain of syphilis?
See, isn't this fun?
All right.
A sample of that particular strain of syphilis was shipped out 4 weeks ago to Lubov Pharmaceuticals.
Lubov Pharmaceuticals also procured a sample of a substance called RUD-390.
Which is?
A chemical compound used in the construction of bioweapons.
You're saying this is ZFT?
Is RUD a cipher of ZFT? Is that FT? I'll have to check my notes. Lubov sounds like Eastern European werewolf name, but I don't think we're talking werewolves. I just wish we were. Oh, the eyes. We got a dog with the eyes. Maybe we are werewolves.
Federal agents, you're under arrest.
Okay.
What is out there doing this? What happened to these people?
Did one of his dogs get loose?
Follower of ZFT.
I'll answer your questions. But you have to help me first. They have my wife.
Is she the one killing? Or is the killer now in dog form in the cage?
You're telling me ZFT's coercing you to conduct these experiments by threatening to harm your wife? Do you believe him? I don't. Everything we know about these guys suggests that they're zealots.
This is the closest that we've ever come to getting traction on stopping these people.
Okay.
This guy could be our chance.
They're burning 5 times more power a month than they should making mushu pork.
Okay.
They
So-
could be using the power for something else.
Yeah.
To
Secret back room.
facilitate a laboratory.
Go get him.
I am forming a hypothesis. Would you care to hear it?
Yeah, of course.
Well, Dunham.
Greg wants full custody of Ella.
What?
Another process server. I am an unfit parent.
Can't be serious.
I won't let that happen, Liv. I will run if I have to.
Rachel, just calm down. You're not running anywhere, and you're not going to lose Ella.
The Greg storyline's going to come into play, isn't it?
Let's talk when I get home. I've got to...
I got a thing.
I got to go to a meeting.
We're just arresting everyone, I guess. Okay. Okay, it's not even hidden. It's just...
Nicholas Boonlapone, Tutsan Ali, Valerie Boone.
Not there.
Your wife isn't there.
I know that. I need to talk to Agent Dunham.
What is he up to? Something was going on at the restaurant.
Inside that cooling unit, you'll find a contagion of 5 vials marked XT43. The person who's out there killing has been dosed with this. I need it to make an antidote.
You lied to me?
No,
My wife
they
was
didn't
dosed.
kidnap my wife.
They dosed her.
They infected her. That was my punishment for trying to leave ZFT.
Us in the park.
Okay. She doesn't have the super blue eyes there. So that was the dosing, obviously.
You're burning up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, so we get the teeth. Oh, it was a night in Roxbury. Didn't even take him inside. Why is he in a wheelchair? He was walking in the video, so spinal research is personal to him.
That video was taken 3 weeks ago.
She needs to feed. She can't control it.
She fed on him.
The more I gave, the more she craved until I couldn't give any more.
Why would ZFT want you to create something like this?
To create a human nightmare.
For what purpose?
To show off.
To whom?
Other scientists. Now I'll need access to a lab with a blood analyzer. I'll also need a spectroscope and a centrifuge. You might want to write this down.
No, we got a lab.
That won't be a problem.
I'm bothered that so many people are telling us we don't know what we're dealing with, and then don't tell us what we're dealing with.
Well, Charlie just found Dunn's car stripped in Mission Hill.
Excellent. He checked the GPS?
Stolen.
Everything stolen is not necessarily lost.
Let's just say the GPS is here, allegedly, but it's useless because it's been wiped for resale. Hypothetically.
But you stole his car from his home in Brookline.
I didn't steal his car from Brookline.
Where'd you steal it from?
Okay.
Once this penicillin concentrates, we can test it on the rat.
It's an honor to have your intellect in my lab.
That's high praise. Because I know very well who you are.
That makes one of us.
Or do you believe there is such a thing? The soul?
There are days when I wish I did. There are days when I wish I didn't.
That the scientific trespasses I've committed
will one day be judged. Ellie and I often debate this very thing. If indeed there is a soul, we must consider then that there is still time for redemption.
So we're thinking what? Boone's wife kills this guy, steals his car, and then drives it out here.
Yeah. But
Why?
what was she doing here?
Where's her base?
Think I know why she came out here.
No. Well, the victim.
Marvelous. You can bring the bodies right this way, gentlemen. May I offer you a pig freen?
He doesn't want to cook you, Walter.
Sure he does.
Apparently you're wrong.
We must have some idea where she'd go.
The person out there killing people is not thinking like my wife.
Hey, Peter, will you turn out the lights?
Seriously?
Yeah. Hand stamps. The clapper.
On television.
Of course you did, Walter.
He's got the same one. It's a place called the Cavern.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Look, I need more time to make the cure.
What's gonna happen to her if she doesn't feed? Oh, we're looking for someone running hot. Okay. Should be easy.
It tells me if you're hot.
So?
So you're
Nope.
definitely hot. But
Not hot enough.
I'm looking for someone with syphilis.
Okay.
It's a high-tech Viewmaster.
The contagion required cerebrospinal fluid as a catalyst, and the cure must require some as well. My own.
Well, no, that's out of the question. It's too dangerous. If you lose more spinal fluid, it could cause a brain hemorrhage.
Another 25 milliliters should be safe.
We can't.
We have no other choice.
Well, don't see this ending well.
You prepare this spinal fluid.
I'm usually fine with needles, but the idea of one going straight into my spine, jeez. What about the camera? What? What? What's about the camera?
Valerie Boone? Are you Valerie Boone? It's her! Take her down!
Alright.
Good news, Dr. Boone. They have her.
Oh, excellent.
Uh-oh.
Dr. Boone?
You lied to me.
How far would you go for someone you love?
Yeah. Man.
She's going to be out for hours.
Are we sure about that?
Where's the siren on this thing?
People in back seats in shows just
Is that what you
suddenly
wanted to try?
jump scare us. There we go. Yeah.
And I thought you were a card-carrying cynic.
I am. World class. But there's an argument to be made that beneath every cynic, there is a frustrated romantic.
Whoa. Pull over. You can stop the vehicle. I don't think tranq guns have multiple rounds in them somehow, but...
Pulse is strong.
Yeah, so is she.
Is that all it's gonna take?
Walter?
No! Let her!
Stay away from her teeth, Walter. Still crazy blue. No, just like that. Must have worked.
Used to be working.
Or they just found a cure for blue eyes.
Need some adrenaline.
No.
And perhaps a cup of coffee.
Walter?
He's gone.
He literally just went. Wouldn't you try and resuscitate him?
Dr. Boone asked me to give this to you personally.
What is it, Walter?
That's why he looked at the camera. What is it? Were they still using VHS when this was made? Or is this supposed to be old?
You and I had a bargain, and you held up your end.
Okay, so this is what he knows.
Now, in the time I worked with ZFT, I never dealt with anyone of significant rank within the movement. But I was able to gather some names, including some I suspect you've already heard of.
Okay.
According
Nina?
to Boone,
No.
the man who's funding ZFT is William Bell.
Okay. That shouldn't be surprising at all. That shouldn't be surprising at all. Yeah, that shouldn't surprise us. If Bell is funding this organization, ZFT, that is pushing the scientific bounds, perhaps, certainly illegally, but perhaps with the aid of some, alien's the wrong word, but extra-dimensional assistance. Why wouldn't he? Because he's also using a lot of that technology at Massive Dynamic to fuel his corporation's growth, the biggest company in the world. The monster of the week this time, it was a really nice story between husband and wife. I get that, you know, the primary purpose of the story is beyond having him tell us everything he knows, which isn't a ton, but does connect Bell to ZFT. Is, you know, what's someone willing to sacrifice for those that they love? You know, it's that question. And even though he knew a further extraction of his own spinal fluid could well kill him, he was willing to do it to save his wife because he felt the same guilt that Walter's been feeling occasionally all season. You know, these past scientific misdeeds that may come back on the karmic counter at some point in the future. And this was his way of making amends, perhaps. But the monster itself is like, I get that ZFT is just showing off. They're doing all sorts of interesting things just to show that they can do them. But what's the point in creating somebody like Valerie, this monster? I don't know. Seems like a monster that would have a really hard time. Like, either it just becomes a murder machine, or it starves to death, presumably. Like, what happens if it doesn't get enough spinal fluid? It would presumably end up paralyzed, because its infection consumes its own, so if it doesn't get enough, it would lose the use of its spine. Right? Seems like a genetic mutation that's doomed to fail. And the teeth that she sprouted were not human teeth. So when we said, oh yeah, these are human bite marks, they weren't. And what's going on with the pending divorce between Sis and Greg trying to take custody of Ella. I feel like that's going to become central to the plot at some point. I just don't know when or how. It seems like such an odd side story that hasn't really yet connected, other than it's a distraction for Olivia. But I feel like with any good storytelling, there's going to end up being a greater intermingling of the plots. But how and to what end, I don't know. Unless Greg himself will eventually be introduced and he's going to be somehow tied up in everything. Yeah, I don't know. We're learning more. We're learning more about ZFT, Massive Dynamic indirectly. Is Jones at the top, at the head of ZFT, or are there others above him? You know, how high does the hierarchy go? How wide does it spread? It would seem that a lot of Walter's research is being used by ZFT, and Bell is the obvious connection because he and Walter used to be lab partners. So, yeah. Really what I want to do is watch another episode right now. I want to jump right into the next one because we're only 2 episodes left in the season. I want to get there. I want to see the end of this season and what is up. But until then, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.